Hello, this is Opinion Radar, and welcome back to your go-to corner for honest, real-life fashion reviews. Today, we're diving into a piece that's been making rounds in women's wardrobes for all the right reasons: the Adrianna Papell Ruffle neck dress. Priced at just $19, it's catching attention not only for its affordability, but for its promise of combining classic elegance with everyday wearability. I first spotted this dress while searching for something simple yet polished for a packed weekend. Something that could transition from errands to dinner without needing a full wardrobe change. Its understated ruffle detail and clean silhouette immediately stood out, but I'll admit, I was skeptical at that price point. Could it really deliver on quality? After several wears, washes, and styling experiments, I'm ready to share my full take. What started as a curiosity has turned into a legit wardrobe favorite. And not just because of how it looks, but how it fits into real life. So, let's get into it, starting with everything I noticed the very first time I put it on. Let me start by saying, if you're on the hunt for a dress that effortlessly balances comfort and style, the Adrianna Papell Ruffle neck dress is definitely worth your attention. From the moment I slipped it on, I was struck by how thoughtfully it's designed. The ruffle neckline adds a lovely feminine touch without being over the top. It's subtle enough for work but charming enough for a weekend brunch. What really stood out to me, though, is how forgiving the fit is through the waist and midsection. As someone who appreciates a silhouette that flatters without clinging, this was a win. The fabric has a lovely drape. It's not too thin, so there's no need to worry about visible undergarments, which I absolutely appreciate. It's one of those rare pieces that manages to be both elegant and practical right out of the gate. Honestly, it feels like it was made with real women's bodies in mind, not just a mannequin on a runway. It hugs in all the right places and schemes over the ones we'd rather not emphasize, especially around the hips and tummy, which can be tricky with so many dresses these days. One of the things I love most about this dress is its versatility. I wore it to a work meeting one day, paired it with a structured blazer and low pumps, and the whole look felt polished and put together. The length is modest but not matronly, perfect for an office environment. But then, just 2 days later, I dressed it way down with white sneakers and a denim jacket for a casual lunch with friends, and it worked just as well. That's when I realized this dress is a true chameleon. You can layer it, accessorize it, or keep it simple. The options are endless. I even packed it for a weekend trip, and it was a total lifesaver. No wrinkling, no fussing, and it looked great after being tossed in a suitcase. For travel, that's gold. It took up minimal space and transitioned easily from daytime sightseeing to a cozy evening dinner. If you're someone who values capsule wardrobe pieces that multitask, this dress should absolutely be on your radar. Now let's talk fabric and care, because we all know a beautiful dress can be ruined by one accidental spin in the washing machine. I was pleasantly surprised that this one holds up so well after a wash. I followed the care instructions and machine washed it on gentle, and it came out looking just as crisp as the first time. The weight of the material really works in its favor. It's lightweight enough for warm days but substantial enough that it doesn't feel flimsy or sheer. You won't need to wear a slip or worry about clingy fabric unless you're in very humid weather. That said, and I want to be honest here, the fit around the hips can be a bit snug depending on your shape. I noticed it slightly clung more than I'd like when I sat down for a long period. I think if you're more pear-shaped or carry weight in the hips, you might want to consider sizing up. It's still comfortable, don't get me wrong, but it's worth keeping that in mind when choosing your size. Another aspect I appreciate is how seasonless it feels. I wore the white version with beige and black floral detailing, and I was initially torn on when to wear it. Was it too light for winter? Too floral for fall? But after wearing it through different weather, I realized it actually works year-round. In the spring and summer, it's ideal, light, airy, and perfectly feminine. Then in cooler months, I layered it with tights, ankle boots, and a cardigan, and it felt just as appropriate. The floral pattern is tasteful, not overwhelming, and the neutral tones blend easily with bolder outerwear. I even wore it under a trench coat for a spring garden party, and it looked fantastic. I wouldn't say it's the most formal dress in the world. You probably wouldn't wear it to a black tie gala, but for daytime events, date nights, or even church, it hits the sweet spot between polished and relaxed. Let's be real. Dresses that are both comfortable and stylish are unicorn-level rare, especially at this price point. And speaking of price, at $19, this is an absolute steal. I've paid double for dresses that didn't hold a candle to this one in terms of quality and wearability. There's a reason brands like Adrianna Papell have such a loyal following. They understand what women want: simplicity, elegance, and a fit that makes you feel confident, not constrained. I've received multiple compliments every time I've worn this, and that's not something I can say about many pieces in my closet. It's quickly become one of those go-to items I reach for when I'm not sure what to wear, but still want to look put together without effort. Of course, no product is perfect. While I adore this dress overall, I will say that the drape may not work for everyone. One time, after a heavier lunch, I felt the waistband pressed just a little too much, even though the fabric is forgiving. And while most body types will likely find it flattering, there's always a chance the ruffle detail, or the way it schemes the hips, might not suit your particular shape. Style is deeply personal like that. I'd encourage anyone considering it to think about how they respond to semi-fitted silhouettes, and perhaps look into sizing up if you're between sizes, or prefer a looser feel. But honestly, for what it offers, comfort, versatility, durability, and undeniable charm, this dress over-delivers. It's become a staple in my closet, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. If you're ready to add a dress to your closet that works as hard as you do, the Adrianna Papell Ruffle neck dress is a must-try. Don't let your perfect dress moment pass you by. Hit like if you're loving this look, and subscribe for more stylish finds that make getting dressed feel effortless.